He ain't never had a bitch like me. 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 He ain't never had a bitch like me.
I wake up in the morning, yeah, I give him something sloppy. Ain't no other bitch like me, now you can't get a copy. The way I ride the dick and scream out, yeah, poppy. I come in 5 minutes, yeah, I got him feeling cocky. Don't do this shit for fun, I do this as a hobby. I deserve a spanking cause I been real naughty. Gave him the rundown, but his thoughts real foggy. I put it on him good when I let him hit it doggy. Walked into his house, in his pocket found a note. Didn't have to write a name cause he knew me by the quote. Don't worry about no teeth, gon' bust all in my throat. When it comes to giving head, I'm the motherfucking GOAT.
He ain't never had a bitch like me. 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 He ain't never had a bitch like me.
I ain't never had a bitch like her, got me starstruck, looking like a snack, really make a nigga want some. Say she could've had a few niggas, she don't want one. Bad to the bone, got a song on my ringtone, bustin' wide open for a nigga, let me see some. Throw that back, break a nigga, no feature. Different type of nigga, if I want her, I'm a seeker. Dog ass nigga, when I see her, I'm a sicker. Put my paws on her, she gon' love hot liquor. Bad little bitch, suck the soul out of nigga. Play hard to get, ain't no game, she a dog. She keep niggas waiting, you won't get a call. She ruthless, a bad bitch, she really a boss. Just what I need, I ain't taking no loss. Bust it wide open, no feelings involved. Make a nigga spin a check and won't touch him at dog. Make a bitch nigga bust when she twerk on the wall. These niggas ain't ready. Lil' baby young go, she a fool, she the ghost. She snatching they souls, they sitting Freddy. These niggas in line at attention on time, application in hand. She ain't got the time. I'm sipping her sauce like it's Bloody Mary. Shit, I'm sipping her sauce like it's Bloody Mary.
He ain't never had a bitch like me. 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 He ain't never had a bitch like me.
Got these bitches wanna fight me cause they nigga really like me. You want hair like tomorrow, but for you it costs a fee. Ain't nothing fake about me. Why these bitches wanna die me? Paying for the things they touting, everything on me is free. This girl got that dab, she should probably get a slap. Let him tap it like an app, cause I'm wetter than a seat. Make your nigga take a nap, like that nigga running laps. Make him come every time, and that's a guarantee. When he come to my house, we like to role play. Never getting tired, I can do this all day. Got his ass not speaking, he ain't got nothing to say. Say he feel a little hungry, so I sat up on his face.
He ain't never had a bitch like me. 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 I never had a bitch like me. He ain't 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 never had a bitch like me.